Hi, we're back with another modern rose today, this one from Peterbilt's. Named after the beloved TV presenter, radio personality and all-round legend of Eurovision, this rose is named after Sir Terry Wogan and is called Togmeister. I've been getting myself a little bit worked up about saying that, but this is Togmeister from Peterbilt's roses. This is one of the smallest and most compact roses I've ever reviewed. It's also on the other end of the scale, one of the thorniest roses I've ever reviewed as well. But this is a really small and compact rose, only reaching 2'6". Yes, you heard me correctly, 2 foot and 6 inches. It's very small indeed. So perfect for planting at the very front of a border, or maybe like I have on rising ground behind a small retaining wall to just elevate it ever so slightly. But the kind of rose that you're going to want to grow in a pot, on a balcony, or maybe a terrace, to bring it up off the floor ever so slightly, because you're going to want to enjoy this rose. It is incredibly beautiful. Peterbilt's originally marketed this one as a replacement for Molyneux from David Austin Roses. If you couldn't get hold of Molyneux, this was the suggestion. Now, apart from on colour, I can't see any characteristics which would draw the two roses together. Very much like Molyneux, Togmeister actually does radiate colour, which is a really wonderful quality from a yellow rose. It simply emits colour from the flower, which is stunning, and there's a slight, ever so slight bleaching to the outer sides of the petals, which is very attractive. However, in habit and in form, these two roses are very different. So we'll start at the very beginning. Togmeister from Peterbilt's roses, obviously being very small and compact, has tiny little leaves. They are very, very small and compact, very much like a patio rose in their size. Dark emerald green and a high gloss, because it's a modern rose, closely related to a hybrid tea. The buds are a beautiful, dark, rich yellow colour with apricot and pink streaked up the sides, and they really are very, very attractive. And it's stunning. You can see just how small this rose is, just how close together those leaves are, because these stems, they're only 6 or 7 inches long, but this was pretty much all that the rose had actually produced so far this season. So a very small and compact plant in total. The flowers are absolutely stunning, fully doubled, slightly cupped, with a rosette of flowers petals moving into the centre. Again, that lovely peachy, pinky tinge working their way up the back of the flower. Deeply ruffled in the centre, they really are very attractive, and the most beautiful yellow colour, which, as I say, completely emits colour from the actual plant itself. Slight bleaching to the outer edges of the petals, making it really, really very attractive. The fragrance on this one is really very interesting as well. The fragrance is spicy and it's warm. You're going to pick up on edges of turmeric. And a very strange one, I've never smelt this in a rose before, so we're going warm and spicy with edges of turmeric. We're going to say carrot and carrot leaf, if you understand what I mean. If you grow carrots at home or in the garden or on the allotment, you'll know what I mean about that coriander carroty smell. But it's spicy and warm, I say, with edges of turmeric and that funny, very strange edge of green carrot behind it. It really is very attractive. The only problem is, being at 2'6" high, if this was planted on the floor, you're going to have to camo crawl all the way to it to get your nose in it. So you're really going to have to plant it in a pot, or I say bring it up onto rising ground and plant it against a raised border if you can, to get it up there so you can actually enjoy its fragrance. The biggest drawback for this particular rose, combating its stunning beauty, is the thorn count. I have never handled a rose with so many thorns on it for its size. And I've obviously handled an awful lot of roses over the last 3 or 4 years, reviewing nearly 90 in total so far. But this is the most vicious rose I have handled for a long, long time. You can see there are thousands of, well, not thousands, but hundreds of tiny little barbs. They are arranged in 3s, 4s and 5s all the way up the stem. They are absolutely vicious, needle sharp and backward facing, making this rose really difficult to handle. I wanted to actually take all the barbs off so I could safely handle this one for you today, but I thought it would be such a shame not to bring you that characteristic. But those barbs actually sort of laced in pairs of 3s, 4s, 5s, all the way along the stem, very, very close together. And being a small and compact rose, obviously the stems are very short, those thorns are condensed into very, very small spaces. Even the backs of the leaves are barbed, so you do need to be careful with how you handle this. But at 2'6", Togmeister is not the kind of rose that you're probably going to want to cut and bring into the house. It's physically just too small. I can't see the bush actually handling having a lot of blooms cut off of it. But it is very attractive. The fragrance is very unusual. I say it's rich and it's warm, it's spicy, and you've got those edges of turmeric in there and green carrot. It's a strong, well, strong as a 2'6" rose can be, vigorous and healthy plant that once again Peter Beals are saying is going to combat on a poorer soil, tolerate a little bit of a drier condition. So it has all the health characteristics you want to. It's just a little bit of a shame it's not a little bit bigger, but Togmeister from Peter Beals is today's rose. A stunning little rose with beautiful true yellow flowers with a lovely white bleaching to the outer side, deeply cupped with a really unusual fragrance. So this is Togmeister.